Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. We got loud audio, clear video. We're on our way to the big leagues, baby. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Sorry, I guess I upped my bit rate when I use a restream service. And what happens is I go take a shower. Just to let you know, I take a shower between like between 10:01 and like 10:05. And I went to run into the shower. I set the stream. And I should have checked to make sure the stream was connected. But I kind of give that to my team so they can make sure it's going out to the internet, you know, God forbid. And something happened. It didn't go out. I don't know why. And so I ran out of the shower. Couldn't believe it. Had to change some settings, figure it out. And I was early. I was at my desk getting ready for the stream at 9:51. So it is what it is, man. Things happen. Take that from me. Things are going to happen constantly in life. And that might even, you know, it is what it is. I have to just shrug it off and just push forward. It's already over now. There's nothing I can do about it now. But I can't put my best foot forward every single day. So shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for being here. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the new camera. That gets me going. That gets me excited to present you guys in higher quality, putting more money back into the stream, back into the studio, and back into what matters, right? Making it pop, baby. You can see it, baby. I can see it. It looks amazing. And now we have look at this. Now it has autofocus on all the time, so I could just show you anything. Can't look, this will be blurry. That's how good the focus is. Look, then it comes into play. Look at that. It's gonna bring. This camera is amazing, man. Look, now I'm a goober. But it brought me back. It's following my eyes. It knows where I am. It's insane. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. I went long on Bitcoin. Tight stop loss, and they got me yet again. This has been a vicious game over and over and over again, and this is what I play. I play these flags. It got super tight. You could say technically it was a symmetrical triangle. At one point you could say, okay, it's a wide symmetrical, and they do mainly break these to the downside. So I guess I could say I was leaning more towards a flag when it was kind of symmetrical triangle-esque. It was more of a chubby triangle, and they mainly do dump them to the downside. So then there they go, dumping this puppy $1,000, and we probably just lost the 1 minute 200 moving average. And I tell myself I should just play the 200. In the morning, if it loses the 200, I should short. If it gains the 200, I should long. And I should just do the same thing over and over and nothing else. Honestly, nothing else. So I must have just got stopped out on the trade. Or am I still in? Wow, I'm so smart. I risked such a little bit on the trade. I'm only down 270. So I'm still up from yesterday. Remember, we made good gains yesterday. So I'm still up from yesterday. I mean, I'm not even out of the trade yet, but it doesn't look good. Looks like I'm going to lose a little bit of, but again, still up from yesterday on the account. So we're okay. We're all right. We're going to get through this week, and make a few $1,000s as long as I stay disciplined and keep pushing. Everything's going to be fine. I just got to keep my mind set. I got to keep my mind right. Keep your mind right, Sam. Keep your mind right, baby. Keep going, baby. Don't let them get to you. They'll never get to me. Never. I'll never let them get to me. Sam, they're getting to you right now. You're screaming on live stream. I know, but I'm okay. I'm going to make it. Just I'm going to get through this. They're never going to get to me. 88, the quadruple H now, Bitcoin collapsing to the downside. And, it almost looks to me like it could be an M pattern, like an ugly M, just kind of like not a perfect one, but an M. And M's break to the downside, right? So you have to assume we're in a bear market. I want everyone to, keep up with that idea. Everyone's like, but Sam, you've been so bullish. You talk this and that. We get the reversals, we play them, but I keep telling you, if you're below the daily I just want to make this really clear. Because, I don't know if anyone, I've been saying we're in a bear market for a long time. Once the daily candles are below the 200 moving average for 2 months, and we started on November 2nd, so that's 2 months straight, that's a bear market. I don't care what anybody says. For me, that's a bear market. There's nothing, that's it, okay? So there's no, it's not like, oh, maybe, or, I'm not sure, or could have, or would have. No. That's it. It's a bear market, friends. All right, and now you're touching the 21, below the 200, inside of a flag, and you're outside of this, and you lost this trend line. I mean, to me, that's a free fall to the downside, right? And that's why that head short that we talked about on the 4-hour time frame with the stop loss on the other side of the 200 moving average, to me, is crucial to have right now. You know what I mean? So like for like 1,000 for 5,000, and look, yesterday we made 1,400. So you already covered it. Now you're covered. So you know what I mean? So like you go. I just want to like play this out. So we talked about it 2 days ago. You make it. You go 1,000 for 4,000, maybe 2,000 for 6,000, whatever it is, right? For me, you know, I'm just thinking of what I do. Okay, just a trader. We'll say a trader, a person, anybody. And then what happens is, and then yesterday we trade up. And what we attempt to do is cover the stop loss in the trades for yesterday. So yesterday you make $1,700. Okay. Now you're covered on the short. The short dumps, or if they come and stop hunt you, you know what I mean? You're at break even. And then if it goes back again and it's just a stop hunt, you can get back into the short again. You see what I mean? What I've learned now is they're so treacherous now. They go up and come back that I have to be ready for the fake move. I have to have some money for the fake move, and then I have to take the move again. That's what's been happening a lot. Or just playing bigger time frames and playing these candles. I've been showing the candles have been safer for me, so I've been changing my style a little bit. All right, look, we even talked about this 4 hour. Remember, we talked about getting into that tweezer bottom. Look, they wicked that puppy. You know, I ended up getting out. I got out super early in this candle because I just didn't trust it. And that, you know, look what I did. So look, Bitcoin looks like it's about to collapse right now, to be honest. All right, so this head short, I've talked about it for like I don't know how many days. But to me, it's just something that should be set in stone just in case this puppy collapses. You can make 5, 10, 60 grand, depending on where you are, depending on whatever you're doing. If it comes up, you get sniped out. And what we could do is we can scalp in these little places, like today. I might make a long scalp. I said that yesterday. Remember, one of the biggest dumps in today. But man, they're dumping the price today hard below the 200 moving average. All right. So 9K in my short, and it's ripping. There you go. Exactly. When you're below the 200 moving average on a big time frame, you got to have a short cooking. That's it. You know what I mean? Or you basically have a lot of cash on the sidelines to buy BTC, which to me is kind of, you know what I mean? You're ready to buy the lower lows. You know, you got to take advantage of lower price action. And look, this, you see, it's like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. You see it right there? And so, you know, they mapped it out, made it look interesting. And that's why you don't bet the house, as you can see, right? You don't bet the house. And our silver trade's still in the midst. It's crazy. It's taking forever. And again, if in 60 days I end up making $4 grand, that's fine. This is just one, you know what I mean? People think they have to make 50, 60,000 all the time. As long as you're growing an account, little by little, you're going to be doing okay. You know what I'm saying? Little by little, you're going to be doing okay. See how silver bounced here and made a move? Kind of like a cup and handle. See that shoulder, head, right shoulder? I'm looking for this thing to move. That's an inverted head and shoulder there for silver on its way up to like 98, right? So, and again, using the 200 moving average as coverage. Always below a 200 and when we get in, right? We can shave the stop loss actually now up a little bit back to 87. See? Paying some funding fees, but looking for it to get bigger over time and to be able to take position, you know? So again, don't stress. You don't have to make tons of money all the time. The key is not to lose a lot of money. All right? The key is not to lose a lot. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening to Bitcoin. My trade almost stopped out. As you can see, it came like inches from my stop loss, which is insane. That's nuts, right? Do we get a V-shaped recovery now? Was this just a hunt? Let's take a look at our big top-down analysis and see what's happening to Bitcoin in the bigger picture, but it looks bearish to me. So I told you, I don't know what's going to happen. All I can tell you is when you're below 200 moving averages, touching the 21, I mean, it's pretty bear flag-esque if you think about it. The 5-minute was giving me the, you know, it would just give me the sauce. We were above the 200. I know this is the only way that the bulls can win. You break the 1-minute 200. You break the 5-minute 200, 7-minute, 10-minute, 12, 15, you know, however you want to go. But like, you know, and we were back up off the 15-minute looking like we were going to do some things. That's my signal, and I'll take it every time. I don't mind getting stopped out right there because when I'm above the 200, touching the 21, we are in a downtrend though. So it changed, you know what I mean? It's kind of like this stuff this stuff is now a down signal, not an up signal. It's now the other way around. Anyway, it's just, you know, I'm over. For years, I've traded bullish, so it's definitely easier for me to go, to trade up an uptrend. But man, it is what it is. You know, it looks so whack. Sad to say, Bitcoin right now, if you're a bull. So it is what it is. I mean, you got to see it for what it is, right? And there's a chance it comes back. There's a chance no one's sure what's exactly going to happen. That's the key. Nobody is. What looks likely right now, though, silver is ripping, man. And don't they make silver? I think they put silver in missiles. I think they put silver when they go to space and stuff, and space is getting big. Isn't, Elon Musk said he's ramping up production for rockets, and I believe silver is used in rockets, and I can go to Grok, and you know what I mean? But, so this stuff also tells you, hey, what's going on here? Like, what's happening? So remember when this price action dumps that I kept telling, another thing that I want to tell you is I didn't always live trade, and I just used to do a lot of predictions for years before I started live trading heavily. And I used to always go, hey, open up a head short here. And I'm telling you right now, just as, as me as my witness, but as the world is my witness, when I said something, whenever I said head short, it was like massive dump. It was like a known thing. So if you watch my channel for a long time and you've ever heard me say head short, it usually means like, dang, man. Because I'm able to kind of usually read it long and play the long game. And I like to find those bottom areas. But, man, it looks like Bitcoin's about to take a beat down. And, I'd be pleasantly surprised if it doesn't. But I got to just be really honest. Completely honest. So, yeah, there it is. I mean, 79, 71. I don't know where it's going to head for sure. We're going to take a look at the big picture. But, I mean, some key levels already. 82,000, 70,000, 74. Now, I keep seeing 67 in my head. I see 58. Heck, I'm willing for 38. 38 could come. And people probably just tuned off right now. They're like, oh, my God. 38,000. It could happen. Could you handle that? Like, you have enough investments in other places that Bitcoin, you know what I mean? For me, I wouldn't be happy. It wouldn't be fun. But, I keep telling myself I came to this earth to create a good relationship with God and to meet people and to do what I love to do with my life. If I ended up making money and I ended up traveling the world and cool things happen, so be it. I'm a businessman and I like to move. Like, I like to build on whatever I'm building. If I was building a sandcastle with my kids, I like to make it look nice. You know what I mean? And I like to put in effort. Like, I've been out there digging till my hands hurt some hours with my kids. It's happened. And we've been working to make it look nice. You know what I mean? And I know if I put that much effort into a sandcastle. So, like, same as you're the same way. You're a crypto lifer. You're here watching me. You're the type of person, guy and girl out there that wants to put it all in. I know it. That's who you are. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching the channel. You want to put it all, you want to go all the way. You don't want to be halfway. That's why you want to be on a channel with someone that shows up every single day, because you love that type of behavior. You love that action. You like that frequency. You want to get down. And I know. I want to hang out with you too. That's why I hang out with the lifers only, because the world has already taken the strainer and strained out everybody that just can't handle me. And if you can handle me and you want to keep coming, me and you are best friends already, right? We've already, that's why when I meet the lifers, it's like we hug, we shake, we look at each other. There's like a deep connection, man. I'm not going to lie. I love my family, like no one can ever replace my family. But when I meet the lifers, there is a feeling similar to when I'm around my family. Because we've pierced the veil of like just being regular people and we know more. So people come with me, man, you shared your whole life, man. I've seen you every single day for years. And they look at me and they look me up and down and I'm like, it's really you. And I look at them up and down. I'm like, it's really you, because I can't even believe someone would care that much to come see me and say hi to me at these events, all these places that I've met people now. What hits me most is people come and, a few people who have brought up their children. One woman says, my son doesn't have a dad. It's just me and him. And, he looks up to you. And, if you could just send him a message. He just did something. I'm so proud of him. And so I made a video message for him, and she brought it home, and she said, man, when I came home with that message, like, you don't know what you did for him. You changed his whole life. Like, and that's another reason why, like, my wife really, she doesn't mind when I travel and go places, because she knows I'm meeting people, and I'm meeting the lifers, and we're connecting, and that's the key, So, anyway, let's get back into the chart. But I just want to say thank you to everyone. I never knew the metamorphosis that was going to come out of just being part of something bigger than myself, which was a trading community, So could Bitcoin bounce? Could this be just a higher low? Are we just digging in? You know, is it one of those you are scared moments? You know, it could be. And that's why the head short, I think, is important to have, because you never know. You know, but at least you're covered down to, like, look, 80K, which isn't that far away if this thing decides to take a bit of a dump ski to the down ski, right? And I mean, the trend is going to pull the 21 down, then you're eventually going to pull the 50. And this looks like an overall bigger bear flag. So, you know, it had potential. The Adam and Eve looked interesting. We had a cup and handle. We sprouted. But we lost 94,000 again. Like, it was a fake. It was really a fake out. I have to be honest. And to me, as I said before, like, no major longs until you get back above 94K. And then here we were, and I decided to take a shot, because if they had pushed that, you know, who knows? Rather get stopped out right there. Okay? And we shorted the market. We had to. There was no other choice. Okay? And it didn't look good for days. And now, to me, the trend's still not our friend. Look, there's a high, there's a low, there's a higher high, there's a lower low. You're going to make a lower high usually, and now you're below, you know, previous support is now resistance. I mean, it looks pretty clear to me. And from yesterday, you're already in the money on the head short. Now, I'm not saying it's amazing, and it's been a rocky road. And it looked like you were about to get stomped down if you were in the short. They made it tough. Yesterday, they made that very tight. And what they did is they made a bunch of people long, and they made a bunch of people pull their shorts off. You see? That didn't sound right. Oh, so that I don't want to see that visual, man. So anyway, quadruple eights. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you kept your short going, you got to be true to that 200, right? So to me, this is it. We're going to do our top-down analysis. We're not done at all, but I just wanted to kind of like 4 hour, stop above anywhere, you know, preferably above the previous highs here if you can. But I mean, maybe you don't, the risk is a little high there too. It's a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. I just think it's proper. Silver getting a nice move here to the upside. Hi-ho, silver away. Now we're up a nice 500 in the silver trade, baby. Silver doing damage. So remember what we did. We took 1,800 or 2,200, turned it into 18. Sold. Took the 18, put it back in with a little extra at 1931. Put it, you know, now we're up 5 and having not lost the silver trade, just keep kicking, right? And eventually we're looking to turn what? So far we turned like 2,000 into 18 plus into 2,300, right? It's been about what, 3 weeks? Okay. You don't have to be a big shot. Listen, if you just made $4,000 every couple of months and at the end of the year you had 40, 50 grand to show for it, you're doing better than 99% of these people out here that show all these big gains and yell and scream. The biggest people and the biggest gains have also lost some of the biggest money you've ever seen. Okay? I'm telling you right now, and I'm not trying to, it just is what it is. So remember, do not stay in your lane. You're only going again, repeat after me. I am only competing with myself from yesterday. I am only competing with myself from yesterday. I am only competing with myself from yesterday. Other people's wallets, other people's gains, other people's P&Ls, they're amazing. They're inspiring. I love that. Show it to me. I want to see it. Let me see how good you did. I want to see how bad you did. Let me see the pain. Let me see the gain. Don't get me wrong. I like statistics. I watch football, like interceptions. How many times did he score? Like, I love it. But how many times you threw an interception does not mean I'm going to throw an interception, or I will or will not, right? Like, I got to get out there, take the ball myself, and throw the ball. So your P&L is not mine. Mine is not yours. And so just remember, man, it's very easy to get vexed by watching other people's percentage gains. It happens to me still, and I'm a human who knows better. And I walk out into nature, I take a deep breath, and I say, I'm not them, they are not me. These don't affect me, and I gotta stay in my lane and do my thing. Amen. You know what I mean? That's not easy. As a trader, that's the hardest part of it all at the end of the day, in my humble opinion. Yeah. So remember, you're doing great. If you're still here, if you're pushing every day, you're doing great. You're doing absolutely amazing. You're right where you need to be. It may seem horrible. It may seem dismal. It may seem dark, but we never know what's going to happen. Tomorrow could be a new day. This thing could spark. I'm telling you right now, there could be a short squeeze like you've never seen, and we could be out here. That's why this is just a head short. You never know. But if we dump, you're ready. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I'm not telling you what's going to happen for sure. I hold boatloads of BTC. I'm on the bull side at the end of the day on the long end. I'm a mini Michael Saylor when it comes to in my little world. You know what I mean? I'm overhedged in Bitcoin 100%, and I'm buying more when maybe a lot of people would think I'm absolutely insane to do so. Facts. 100% facts. Okay? But that's me. I'm not telling you, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do with your life or with your money. I'm just telling you what I'm doing with mine, which I know probably even shouldn't do. Putting myself at risk, right? You know what I mean? But someone's got to be out there, because when I was out there on my own attempting to figure it out, I didn't know, and no one would tell me. Nobody would tell me, don't talk about your money, don't talk about this. And again, you don't go out there blabbing to people out in the... But you guys are my community. You guys are what made me who I am today. Everybody here has helped me become who I am today. Every single one. There's not one person here that hasn't, even the haters, even people that talk ish on me, even people that run their mouth on me. They're telling someone who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, advertising is free advertising, man. Keep it going, right? So look, it's like a 3-1 right there on an even Steven side with a stop at about what? Let's see, 91,277. Let's see. 92,134. And, if we get a little jump back up. So, like, again, this is a head short just in case this thing decides to collapse. All right. We're going to get into I'm just going to look at all the ins and outs. Today is Thursday, correct? Right? Yes. The 22nd. We have a lot to go over, too, and talk about. As far as just kind of what's cracking, we had some Davos. There's been an interesting dynamic to what's been going on. All right? For sure. 89,110, baby. Bitcoin back above 89K. Nice little bounce back to the upside. Am I still in the trade, or did they hunt me out? They did, didn't they? No. I'm still in, right? No. I'm in there. Oh, they sniped me right there and then bounced it. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Looks like my stop would have been lower, though. Dang, how is that possible? Weird, right? This thing gets back above the 2. See, I wouldn't be surprised if they rip this puppy. You know what I mean? Like, every time it looks good, they're just going to dip it, and then they're going to rip it. And then it's going to get back above the 200 moving average, and then we're going to be right back in position again. Look at them ripping this thing right back to the upside. The volatility has been absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, it looks like we could get an inverted head and shoulder on the 1 minute. Anyway, I got to finish my top-down analysis so we can get into what's likely going to happen later on today. But right now, if you're watching the 1 minute, just a quick, Sammy special here. Look for the inverted on the 1. Look for us to cross the 200 moving average. Nice recovery right there for Bitcoin. Stop hunting the shorts real fast. Again, it doesn't negate the fact that I believe a head short on the 4 hour is a good idea. You see? You trade to make it even on some hunts, and then you go from there. And you're covered. I'd like to be a perma bull and just say, hey, on the big end, I just keep buying BTC spot. I really do. Knowing that every time it's under 100,000, it's a steal for me as a minnow. So I got a bigger picture, a 5-year plan, and anytime it's 100K, I tell myself I am not privileged enough to think anything different than to grab Bitcoin whenever I can. Like when I lower my ego and I realize I'm a popper, and I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just being honest, and I'm not trying to put myself down, okay? But, as opposed to the people that run this world and do what they do, I am a popper, man. I am a Baroque, right? I could be worth 100 mil and be considered a popper. You could be worth 800 mil and you're not in these $1 trillion families that run the world behind the scenes. You're a nobody. This is the facts, man. Like, you know what I mean? So I realize once you get into the upper echelons of even the beginning stages of bigger money, like they say, once you get out of the matrix, you realize how matrixy the matrix really is. Like, you find the other levels of the matrix and you realize it was even crazier than you thought. And people with more money than you are even more stuck in the matrix than you were. You see what I mean? You thought, oh, I got rich, I'm out the matrix. No. Now you see now they let you see more of what's going on than you saw before. Because you're out of this one level, and now it's even like, wow. My whole point is this, is like, and that's why you find freedom in your children and in nature. And that's what you go to realize that's the only essence of life that matters. Because when you're there, they can't take that away from you. They can't take away your walk at the beach. They can't take away the water on your feet, man. They can't take away the love for your kids, and they can't take away your connection to God. Whoever powers that be that run this world, whatever draining energies there are, whatever there is, whatever, and maybe there's nothing. Maybe it's all in your head, whatever we want to say it is. But you could definitely see there's some dark forces out there. But whatever that could be, as long as you're, again, competing with yourself and creating an energy that you keep lifting yourself up with every day, you're on a good path. And that becomes a habit. And no one can take that away from you. No one can take your ability to find a high frequency way of life away from you. Nobody can do that. They can try all they want, but nobody can do that. You see what I mean? Like, you own that ability to always be in control of what's happening and how you feel. Some days I crack, some days I don't feel good, or not, I don't want to say days, but there's an hour or two where things just don't feel right. I feel like I wish I could change the way things are going. It's not perfect, but you got to shake it off and say, what is that doing for me? And once you realize it's not doing anything, you get back into like, okay, let's make this happen. I love this live stream because it keeps me disciplined. No matter what's happening in my life, I got to keep up with the stream itself. The stream demands high energy. The stream demands proper behavior. You can't come to the stream and sulk around. That doesn't work. You got to be ready, upbeat, and ready to go. That's just how that's how it has to be. There's no exception. There's nothing. That's it. That's it. So, and yeah. Anyway, may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I feel blessed. So yeah, I still believe a head short is very, and I have the head short open just so you know. Okay, just so you can see it. It's here on MEXC. And if it loses like 14. If it gains like 7,000 or more, I think it's like a $70,000 trade or something. See? Almost a $100,000 trade. Usual trade for me, 50 to 150,000. That's kind of where I got myself up to now. I get into the 350s to the 500, and I've breached the million a couple times. You've seen it. That was crazy a couple weeks back, maybe a few days back. But that's and it took me years to get there, and I went 100 for 300 every single day for like 3 years. Every single trade was $100 for $300. Instead of demo trading, which I probably should have done. I look back at it now, and I didn't realize I didn't even have the skill to demo trade because I wasn't disciplined. I didn't want to listen to anybody. I didn't. You know what I mean? I just wanted to trade until I lost enough money to figure it out. Which is, some people, I guess, are like me. But please, if you're like me, demo trade. Demo trading would have saved my life. I would have figured it out way easier, way quicker, all right? So head short setup. Now what we do is we spend the day looking for long scalps. You know what I mean? To pay for the loss of the head short if we lose. So we got to make $1,500 in the next couple of days and then check that off. And then we have a clean slate. And then we have to just start over and start trading again with a clean mind. You get what I mean? It's crazy, right? But that's kind of how I think. I like to compartmentalize it all so it's all kind of set in position. Now, the worst thing that can happen is they spike this thing up somewhere into the 91Ks, bring it back down, and then dump it, right? And I get stopped down. But even then, on that spike up, I'm sure to make some big money because I'm good at finding the short squeeze. So, and again, we've already taken care of getting taken out because, see what I'm saying? So let me repeat what I said. Does everyone understand what the game plan? So I'm in here with a head short, stop loss above these previous resistances. Going down to like 79, 80K to make if they dump us, right? And this could go even lower. It could end up turning into a bigger, and then we could get into more shorts. And really then the trend's our friend at this point, and we can just start making some money until we find a bottom, and then we'll be back in the gains. And then we'll be, right? And then we'll be, or we kind of reverse and we go, whatever happens, I'm going to be here every single day. I'm going to be here every single day on this one. I'm going to be here every single day on this one. I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter. This channel is not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to grind. There's going to be opportunity if we believe in it. Today, there's opportunity for me. Say it out loud. Today, there's opportunity for me. Say that to yourself right now. You know what I mean? Today, there's opportunity for me. And I'm saying that for you. But, you repeat it out loud because you say me because that's for you, right? Like if I said for you, you'd be saying it for me. But hey, today there's opportunity for you. I believe that. Understand? Okay. Silver ripping 632 now with the trade. Silver doing damage. 32% of the silver trade. The short now up $58. We'll see. I'm not really stressed. It's a hedge position in case we tumble down today like Tumbelina. Okay. So again, you figure out what you can handle. I like to risk between $1,500 and $2,000 for about $700 to $8,000. That's what I did. You do whatever you're kind of positioned for, or you do nothing. I don't know. I am not your financial advisor, and like I say and do, should be taken as such. And now what I do is today we might find a bottom. We might find a bottom here. We might reverse. This actually looks like a beautiful reversal here. Okay. And hey, I look to basically make when I'm hedging, which I kind of made yesterday. So I'm technically hedged even at this point, even with today's loss, right? But we can solidify it even better than that. So right now I got clean slate, really. You see what I mean? I'm risking 15. Maybe it's plus or minus $180. You see? And now I'm like, okay. So if I get stopped out of the short and we end up going and ripping up, I can kind of just do it without having to stress, And I know that it's almost like it's like taking out insurance on a credit card or something. And now I'm looking for I'm looking for positional strength. The 30-second, look for the 5-second. So now the 5-second is battling the 200 moving average with a cup and handle. And you're like, why the 5-second? Well, I started just going deep in time. A second of your life is like a millisecond of your life. A millisecond is like a trillisecond. A trillisecond is like a quadrilliosecond, right? What did I just say? Yes, I said it. A quadrillisecond. I never said that before. I think it's a different word, but who knows? My mind's making it up as I go, just like my life. So, my point is, if anything is everything and time is what it is, then the 5 seconds, the 1 minute, the 1 minute is the 1 hour, the 1 hour is the daily is the 15. It's all kind of combined. You see what I'm saying? Look at that short now cooking. It's up $151. I wasn't even looking to see any gains there this early. I was just hedging. But there, But I'm interested in this 5-second. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to zoom into the bigger time frames here. And we're going to start breaking it down. Even look, this looks like a nice cup and handle on the 1 minute time frame. We played this yesterday, remember? The same thing, or 2 days ago. This thing happened yesterday. This is how price action does reverse. Every single day, there's a dump somewhere, a pump, and then a dump. But I'm telling you, whenever there's a dump, and then somewhere between 10 and 12 o'clock, there's a cup and handle on the 1 minute time frame. And, and then you could pull the fib, and you can see how it's, coming into that 786 fib retracement. When you pull it from here, you could even go from right there, from that impulse there. You can see a 786 bounce. Kind of should get that bounce. This is what we did every morning. If you remember, for years, we traded this exact setup for a long time. Before I started trading the 200 moving average, which I moved on to. I felt it had higher probability. This kind of left me in limbo. I never knew exactly what could happen. This could still make a right, if we're traders and we know anything can happen, this could make a right shoulder and dump me, right? We know you have to break above this and boom. And that's why if you get above the 200 and the 21 touches, I also get the retest breakout, and I get the safeness of the moving averages, and I get the higher probability continuation pattern. And that's just what I do. I found this gives me, but again, because it's almost like, this is going to sound really corny, but it's like if you were an adolescent and you were going out and you want to ask a girl out on a date, you'd want to ask her out when she's in a happy state, when things are going well. And you don't want to ask her out like alone in a park where she might feel uncomfortable. You ask her at a party or towards the middle or somewhere 3/4 towards the end of it where she's feeling happy, everything's going well, and you kind of slide into the mix and say, hey, Wondering if I could see you again sometime. You know what I mean? I'm just, the point, you know, people's like, what are you saying, Sam? What I'm saying is, because as a man, this is kind of how I'm equating probabilities. Just like getting into a trade. If you've understood something for a long period of time and you've done it, you start understanding maybe where the best places are to do it. You see what I mean? So if you're trading all the time and you go through many different trades, or if you're a young man and you get shot down here and there, and then you're like, well, or you have an older brother that teaches you, hey, this is the best time to do this. You know, other men have taught me throughout my life and they've showed me these are the best times if you're looking to find a mate. You know what I mean? It's just like, so as a trader, what you do is you get spoiled, right? If you start seeing something that has a higher probability, then you start trading it more than anything else. That's kind of what happened to me with the 200. I felt like I tripped on a little gold mine. The thing about it is that the market's not amazing. You don't see it as much because it only happens when the market's amazing. Like if there was a lot of pressure here and enough to stop hunt. Hey, see, I'm not saying long this cup and handle the 1 minute. I'm not saying, I just want to make that clear because I shouldn't use this sometimes, because if you glance at it and you didn't hear what I was saying, you're like, oh, he's long, right? And you're like, no, he's short right now. 72,000. Just in case with it, and it's a head short. It's not a big deal. You see what I mean? It's not like a huge deal. Anyway, so that's, you know, again, very oversold in the stochastics though. It's usually when you'll make a higher low. When I use the stochastics so interestingly, because let me show you something about the stochastics. This is a great example of how the stochastics work. All right. Down here, this is the stochastics RSI, how you would add this to the chart. All right. And you know what I'm going to do too? Yeah, for my team is I'm going to start recording this stuff. It's a good idea, I believe, right? And then what we could do, you know, see, I believe I can record while I'm doing this stuff. Yeah. I probably can't, dang. Oh yeah, you can't change the bit rate. I'll heighten the bit rate next time because it won't be as good right now. So, but next time I'll up the bit rate of the recordings, hit record every day. And at the end of the stream, I'll have these high quality recordings of the stream for clipping. And from now on, our clips will look so much better and cleaner because I'll have, you know what I mean? And I should have been doing that for years. That's my I thought about it yesterday. I was like, man, I should be recording high quality versions of the show. And even this morning, I messed up. So I'm always making mistakes. I'm going to be better for my team and everybody this year. 2026, man. I'm going to have things more in order. So look, let's take a look at the RSI, stochastics RSI with divergences by neobutane. You click on that. That'll add this exact indicator to your list of indicators. Well, let me show you something very interesting here. Okay, that's gonna make you excited. Check this out. So this is, and I just want to explain this about the RSI. All right. Let me show you something. So what you have is you have you have price action. And price action will go up and down. All right. And the stochastics RSI will also go up and down. Just like it's supposed to. And you'll see they're locked in pretty much. Look, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? And you'll see the same thing here. Look, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? What will happen is, and this is how the stochastics help you make money. All right, just listen. So they'll come up again. Price will come up again this time. Then they'll come down again. You know what I mean? Just whatever. I shouldn't make it that big. So they'll come up, then they'll come down again. But price will come up, go past these previous areas, and then come down again. And then the Stokes will come below the layer and start to curve, but you'll have higher price action. And see, that is the cup and handle too. You see what I mean? So that's why I use the stochastics RSI in conjunction with the higher low. That's why I'm so accurate. That's why a lot of times when I get into a trade, you guys are like, whoa, how did he know it was going to break out immediately? Because I'm using stochastics RSI. And it's so beautifully accurate. Look, and you can even see like a cup and handle here too. You see, you can see lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. You can see falling volume with falling price, which means sellers are losing volume right there. They've been selling off, but look, they've been going to the downside. So where is the sell, the sell volume is lacking. If the sell volume's lacking, then we're likely going to start hopefully possibly reversing. You see? So you always want to look at volume too. Volume's key. I don't talk about volume enough because I used it for so long. I just I see it with almost don't even noticing it. Right? All right. Now, what we also want to see today is a possible shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. Like, could we get some type of what's called a complex inverted head and shoulder that bounces us back to the upside? So I see potential for a reversal. I see banana curving on the Stokes, right? Some could say, okay, that's great, but it's still just another triangle. This could still dump, right? Now that we've done all this and we've done our analysis here, we got to look at silver later for sure on the bigger picture, which looks great. And we also have to kind of deep dive a little further in to Bitcoin. So let me do my top debt analysis now and break it down for each and every one of you. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Let me take a look at the chat. I haven't seen the chat in a second. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Nice. So it's not just a glitch in my brain. I love stochastics RSI. Are you going to make a scalp trading bot for the Discord group? Interesting. Looks like they're about to send it or a nice fake out. Your camera looks amazing. Focus so sharp. Wow. Thank you. That's so nice of you to say. You're a blessing, man. Silver stock going crazy. Yeah, I see a watermelon wedge and a banana curve to the upside. I love you, man. We're not here to sell fruit. A watermelon wedge and a banana. I mean, hey. He's getting fruity with it. No. So bad. Anyway, let's take a look at what's happening to BTC. Let's do our top 10 analysis. It's like I've been running away from it all day. Let's see what's happening here, all right? So we've got this swing up on the monthly. We got this swing down, okay? Interesting. Previous high, right? Low, oversold. It tells us that we should be breaking this high, and we should be able to at least get to the next resistance point, 96.8, which we did, though, and we did get rejected by that. All right, I just want to make that clear, and I'll show you some other areas that were obvious, okay? And yeah, we're going to keep the smaller time frame cooking Binance, and I guess I'm using the same time frames. We recreate it once we get in there. But yeah, right now, if you're just jumping on in, we're looking for this 1 minute or even the 5 second. Look, the 5 second cup and handle to play out here. Looks like a 1 minute cup and handle too as well. We'll see. It looks like it began its breakout. You see? Anyway, actually, this is what I'll do. I'll go to the buy, yeah. And I'll have this on the side. But this should, looking somewhat bullish, but be careful. If you're just jumping on in, or if you've been watching my channel for a while, I'm using the 4 hour to set up a head short. Okay? And then now I can have fun. Now that the head short's in place, which I have here on XC, I can now just do what I want. You see what I mean? It's up $100. I'm not worried really about it. It's either going to make me the big money when we dump, or it's there for protection. Okay? And I feel kind of free now. Like, I feel better about scalping later on today, or like if we dump all the way to 85 and the short's in the money, then I can scalp all the other wins up. And so while the short keeps paying, I can keep doing my longs and making my daily gains. So can I let the short go for a week or two and trade the gains? All right. Shout out to Grandmaster Friend, man. God bless you, man. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate you all for being here. Shout out to my buddy. 2026 is our year, man. It's just like the weekly. Remember how you talk about the weekly has to dump first? So we want a tough first quarter, don't we? We want the first quarter to be kind of messy. Maybe even a little bit into the second. Because that's going to be our retaliation wick back to the upside, right? If we had amazing first 2 quarters, that would be the green candle, right? And then we would only... So, sad to say, when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, we kind of need a messy January, February, and March. A little bit April and May too. We can start coming to the upside May and June, because that would basically, and that's like the 6-month candle. So we're going to have a messy first quarter, folks, if you want to have a redemption wick back to the upside. Understand? Sam Money Concepts. But seriously, like, we got to look at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, the market really got me good. I spread my love and got the banana. Interesting. Hey, Sammy, have you looked at SanDisk stock? Smart to invest in exit liquidity. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. T-Rex dinosaur pattern detected on the 15-minute. Interesting. You'll get the go, friend. Thank you for the drop knowledge. I want the essential videos at least once a month. Oh, he's got you. Hey, Sammy, have you looked at SanDisk? No, thank you. I said it one time. I haven't looked at... I like SanDisk, honestly. I use it all the time. You know, it's those little micro... It's the chips, and I've been using those chips... Like, I've been a supporter of that for a long time. A long time. Yeah. Anyway, so... I've covered kind of what we're looking at. Let's get back into the bigger time frame. So, this candle looks absolutely horrendous. If we close this candle as such, I have to be honest, that's a bearish look to me. I could still say, fine, it's a tweezer bottom. But man, I mean, the demand to sell was higher than the demand to buy. That's what the wick says. Anything is possible. And we still have 9 days, right? We have 9 days until the end of the month. There's 31 days in January. Let me correct my... Yeah, there is. So we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 5, 6, 7. Probably 10. 1, 2, 3. Including today. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 days left, including today. In the month. And remember, I got something to talk about in a little bit too. About our year and about what you're doing with it and where we're going. And it's helping me a lot too, stay disciplined. And it's how I'm going to really push through every single year for the rest of my life. I'm going to write a book about it. And we're going to have some fun. The short just got really interesting. It's now up about 230. And so the silver ripping, Bitcoin shorting. And again, it just, you know, I don't know what to say, but it is what it is. Right? Wicks tend to get filled though. The eye much further fall for Bitcoin. That's the eye, exactly. Anyone longing right now deserves their profits. Interesting. Money flow coming out. Hey Sam, do you see a possible diamond on the 4 hour? I did. It doesn't look good though. Yeah. So the monthly still has hidden bullish divergence. Still has come down to a 786 Fibonacci retracement. 886 really hugging the 786. It tells you this candle's going to fill. Maybe it fills the last 3 days of the month. Maybe it fills the last day of the month. You never know. I've seen candles like this all day, and then right before the month closes, like the last 3 hours of the month, they do something insane. So anything is possible for Bitcoin, but right now, the odds are a bearish close for me. I don't see how the next candle wouldn't be red after that. You know, and then you would start coming for this low here at 82,352. If you look at Bookmap, it's got liquidity to the downside at 86,150. That's the closest area we see massive amounts of liquidations. That's a massive long liquidation where, you know, so again, that means a lot of people are long and a lot of people will get liquidated at 86,000. The masses are sitting there. Again, there's just some good liquidity up here. You can see it. And if I blend in, you're going to see it's red and yellow up into these areas. But the biggest glob that sticks out and tells you, hey, is big red. Big red is where we usually go to on Bookmap. It's a simple way to view it. You can do it however you want it. And big red tells me, hey, they're egging to pull you down into this region for the liquidity zone. Okay? They want to not use risk management. You can look it up. However, risk only 1% of portfolio and you cannot be liquidated. 100%. Stop loss. Take profit on Bitcoin. 50K for me. That's amazing, man. Shout out to Todd BTC King on 50K being disciplined, man. God bless you, brother. I would, you're going to do whatever you want with it, but wow, I would be putting, if I made 50K on a trade like that, me personally, I'd be putting at least 5 to 10 grand into Bitcoin on the next dip or slowly as it dips, or just right now and walk away. I would then put another, maybe a little bit aside for an in-case fund. And then I would, keep some aside to go back into the market. And I would continue to do that every time I made some money until I had a diversified portfolio of Bitcoin stashed, cash stashed, And then once I got too much cash, which is a liability, I would begin to deploy that into real estate. Okay? And so if I had any type of cash flow in my life right now, coming in, again, into my life, portions of it are going to BTC, portions of it going into cash, and then portions of it are going, of the cash are going into real estate. You see what I mean? That have cash flow only cash flow real estate. Like the real estate has to cash flow. Has to be money coming out of the cash. You see? And then that's coming back into cash again. And then I'm using this also to add to the whatever, the whatever business you have. You're using advertising dollars. You're making things better. You're buying new cameras to make the whole look better, the show better, right? You're doing things to create better for your business. And then therefore your business creates more cash, which then deploy more into BTC. Then you deploy having an actual knowledge of the charts over the long term, and you buy Bitcoin when the fear is at the best, when it's down over here. Look, fear at 20. I mean, it's getting better and better for Bitcoin again. They're continuing to create an area. Whenever Bitcoin's been at 20, it's been a really good time to DCA for me. You do whatever makes you happy. But I have this deployment where every time Bitcoin is super low on the 2-week chart, right? Anyway, let's continue our top 10 analysis for Bitcoin. I know I'm dragging it through today, but for whatever reason, that's how the show is going. I'm just going with the flow. I like the flow of the show today, though. It feels good. It's a nice flow. Let's take a look at the 2-week chart. So the 2-week chart, very oversold, but again, it can stay down here for a while. It can stay in a bear market. This could be the beginning here, and we could still get weeks and weeks of pain. We're hugging the 50 moving average. Once you lose the 50, that's, you got some time. Again, it's almost like we've been in a bear market now, though, for a good amount of time. We've already done about 6 months in a bear market soon. And they're usually 18 months, so you're already two-thirds through if this is really what's going to happen. It does look like, you could say shoulder, head, and this could be just a mini right shoulder. I've seen this many a time. And then you're on your way down to about 42K. I gotta be honest with you. Okay? We're gonna be fine. Look, the hedge short will pay us. We can make money both ways. We could trade silver, gold, then we can, and then when we're doing this, I'm DCAing into Bitcoin. And then when it, years from now, when it's back up, I look back at this time and see it like this. And say, wow, I kept a level head. I kept going no matter what. I didn't look at the day-to-day. I didn't stare at all these people's big leverage trades and get and then run after leverage and lose money. I did the right, boring thing. I treated leverage as a tool, used it when I could, and DCA'd to Bitcoin along the way. And I kept I kept myself mentally clean. You know what I mean? I had time for my family. I didn't let life pass me by. This is when my kids are 4 years old to 5 to 6. This is these times where Bitcoin's doing this is also when my baby's going to grow from 1 to 3, 1 to 4. These are extremely crucial years for me to grow. You see what I mean? And so it's if you let the market get in your head so bad that you can't be a good parent too. So but I'm at a different stage of my life. Okay? Where the market is teaching me how to stay balanced. And because I've been in the markets for so long, okay? But this is called market maturity. After you yourself will have these growth periods in connection to your life. If you keep trading, if trading becomes something you marry like I did, so I have my wife in my life, I have my kids, and I have trading. Trading is almost like a person. It's a thing. It's in my life. It sleeps with me. Right? It lives with me. It eats breakfast with me. I wake up every single day with it. Every morning, the first thing I do, before I text, before I say hello to myself, before I even look at the mirror, before I barely wake up, I text my trading group and I look at the price of Bitcoin. It's the first thing I do every single morning is say hi to my trading group and say what up, right? And then we go from there. So Bitcoin could be making a tiny little right shoulder here that wants to take a nasty dump to the downside, okay? And let's take a look at the stochastics. I mean, they're kind of curving here, which is you could see something like this for a while. It is the 2-week cross, which every time has shown that we've been able to make some type of movement. Every one of these has created a pump. I tell you what, man, we're at this crazy place where I still know that at any time Bitcoin could do a massive pump, even though it's setting up to look to the TA is telling me there's a dump. So the TA and probability is saying and so I can't go on the hopium, but I can be ready for it if we cross the 1 minute, and I'm going to do my analysis every morning and every night for the group, and I'm going to stick to what I do and keep my discipline. And if I do that, I'll be one of the first people to see a change in price action. It'll be 1 in the morning. I'll see us cross the 5 minute. I'll put out an update to the group. I'll say, hey, if we get above this, we're looking for the 15. I'll set a progressive trap for it. The next morning, I'll wake up. I'll see if the trap played out. I'll be live that morning. I'll see the 1 hour. We'll be long, the reversible pump. We'll be like, oh my gosh. And we'll be somewhere here at 104,000. And we'll all be like, oh, wow, that was amazing. I thought it looked bad. And so I have faith that my team, my group, my channel will guide anyone who's watching through this the proper way with education and knowledge and dedication. And honestly, consistency. You can be smarter than me. You can be better than me in TA. You can think you're quicker, swifter, 100%. But you definitely won't be as consistent. And over time, we will grind you. We will grind you down. And we will make it to another level, because I read about people that have made it. And I read about the most successful people in life. And I studied them like a hawk. And I replicated and emulated all their systems and plans and movements. From my discipline to working out, from my positive self-talk. Last night, what was I doing? In bed, I was listening to positive self-affirmations that reprogram your subconscious mind to believe that anything is possible to get to another level. I'm going to 100 mil. That's not easy. To tell yourself you're going to make $100 million and you're going to make it to 100 mil, and there's just no options. It has to happen. Just like when I was in my cubicle making, my 80 to 100 grand, and I said, I have to be a multimillionaire. Like, it has to happen. I have to make it on YouTube. I have to go all the way. And there's no other options. Like, I can't say no to that. That's it. I put it in my mind, and it has to be true. So I've now put it in my mind that 100 million must emerge into reality. And there's no other option for me. Okay? And now I got to set the goals, the movements, and the plans to actually get there. Like, how is it going to happen? What am I going to do? What am I going to develop? What products am I doing? Like, where am I? You know what I mean? And it all has to be set in stone. I got to write it down, and we got to make it happen. So this is the plan, though. And every single day I'm working towards it. And the first thing I got to do is get my mind ready to believe that actually 100 million is 100% happening without doubt. And by doing that, I use subconscious mind theory to brainwash the mind, to change my neuroplasticity to believe that it's going to happen, no matter what, to know that it's going to happen. And once I know it for sure, the universe will crunch time, space, and reality to meet me into the desires that have been planned out. So look, the 2-week chart looks bearish to me too. It looks like it's in a bear flag. Just doesn't look amazing on Bitcoin. Let's be honest. You say, but there's hidden bullish divergence. There is. But, you could say, well, maybe it's not playing out here. It would be one of the first times I've ever seen it not play out. Even the weekly. The one thing about the weekly you could say is, though, isn't it making a higher low? I'd say yes. I'd say, okay, so 87,250 is like your last grandstand. Can you hold 87,250? Could you bounce right now? There's a chance. Definitely was a fake out. That was a bull trap on the weekly. It looked like that was going to close. The next week was coming, and we were going to V-shape recovery our way right back to the magic land. Things started to look good, like there was some euphoria here, folks. Well, you can also see, look, previous resistance becomes previous support, becomes resistance. You knew you had to close a weekly candle above 93.8. You had to close a candle above 93,800. Had to. No matter what. No matter what, we had to close a candle above that. Is there still a chance? I'm open-minded that any single thing is possible, because I have to be. If I can make 100 million, then anything is possible. If I can go from my cubicle to 100,000 subscribers, I think that was harder to do than making 100 mil. I don't know if we can, like, you know, everything's going to be difficult in life. It's better off to say it's all going to be extremely hard, and everything we do is going to be hard. Just keep pushing. I think that's the best way to think about life, because that way you're ready for anything. It's never easy. It's not going to be easy. Stop asking for an easy life. You don't want it to be easy. You don't want an easy P&L. You want to lose a few times till it hurts. You want to lose till it makes you want to throw up. You do, because that pain will make you one of the strongest, most successful people in the world. The richest people in the world that have the most amount of money, that have the most amount of success, those people have lost more than you would ever believe. I'm telling you right now, 100%. The people that have made the most out of their lives have lost more than most people could ever believe. But most people would never would give up. Most people would never stay in that position. They just wouldn't be able to do it. So here's the deal. Like, are we in this flag here off the bottom of the channel? I also see this, you know, I can see both. You know, I also see that, and you got to get back inside that trend line. You know, you're just going to bearishly retest on a right shoulder and just dump to the downside. That looks likely to me. And that's why, in my mind, like, I don't, like, I wouldn't open up a monster long. I mean, you could open up a monster long here if we get like a tweezer bottom on the daily. Like, if today this candle were to close green, I mean, technically we got a tweezer bottom last night. So technically, right now, this should reverse back to the upside. You should be able to long here with a stop loss here and get back to the top of the channel. Technically, all right? Because you fell through fast and you're closed at tweezer bottom. So, you know, and again, so I am looking for a possible reversal, but today, let's see what happens today. Today's candle has a little bit on that, right? It doesn't look amazing. Look, rejection by the 200 moving average. That's the one I want to talk about. We pumped up to the 200. We talked about this, but we never got back above it. That's why the trade was here, not there, anywhere. You know, we were looking for the previous support as resistance. We lost that. We didn't even hold this support, which is interesting, and now we're resisting there. 8-hour time frame still below the 200, but showing signs of a tweezer bottom. If that can close, so look for the 8-hour to close in 8 hours, 7 hours and 35 minutes. That could close green. You know, it's almost like a double bottom on the 4-hour, isn't it? It's so, like, I've never seen such strange price action. Like, I guess I have, but it's just like, is it the weirdest cup and handle ever? You see what I mean? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Like, you know, I still see the diamond there. Let's talk about this. So, I'll be honest, like, you're not supposed to say your trader instincts and all that. And you're not, you know, I will just go, I'm going to trade the charts no matter what. But my biggest bags are spot bags at BTC. Okay. So at the end of the day, like, that's the one thing that matters to me the most, okay? At the end of the day. Like, nothing will ever compare to that, no matter how much I lev trade. It won't matter. You know, thank the Lord I believed in Bitcoins when I did, and that I did what I did at the age that I did it at. Like, I got lucky. Whatever you want to say. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? I'm where I am in life now because of whatever happened. The story is amazing. I can't believe it. But it all started with gold and silver. I stacked gold and silver, and that changed my life. I mean, that still looks like a diamond to me. And it still looks like an insane shoulder, head, right shoulder. You're oversold on the 4-hour, on the 1 hour. You're oversold in the 4-hour. Yeah, not really, actually. She overbought on the 4-hour. But, you know, there's so you're watching the 8-hour in 8 hours. That's, you know, you're looking for a tell at 7 o'clock tonight. And you want to see what the daily candle does today. If it stays above this level, I mean, we have a chance that 88.5 is going to be a new high to hold. Why? Because, I mean, that was our last low, 87. Right now, the daily's putting in a low there. So, we'll see. You know, if this candle closed below those two lows, that's all out the window and it doesn't matter. So I'm being as open-minded as I can. My trader instinct, the one that, like, secretly knows what's happening without me knowing, tells me that we're going up. And no matter what happens here, somehow, some way, and in the next 40 days, Bitcoin's going to be back near 100,000. But again, I'm not trading on that. You shouldn't trade on that. And I shouldn't even say that stuff because it is what I think, hope, and feel deep inside. It's not like there's nothing based on it. It's my own prediction. It's like a psychic prediction. And I can't trade on that stuff, right? But hey, I've been in the market a long time, and it just maybe it is based on something in the market that I can't place. Maybe I see something. Maybe my subconscious mind is picking up on something, and I just don't know what it is. I believe that's a possibility. But until then, I don't know, right? That's if I was for sure, then I wouldn't have a head short open, would I? No. But to be honest, this is a diamond. This is a diamond. It has a whipsaw in the middle. It's a little higher than there. It's going sideways on either end. And diamonds break in. They wiggle around and they break back to the upside. And I've seen it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So like Sam, so why have the head short if you're so sure that it's going to reverse? Honestly, because I think it's just a good idea to have something brewing in case, you know? And I usually don't do that. I'm usually a one-way trader. I usually don't have hedges open too much. I just kind of decide which way is it going and I go for it. But the market has been so sketchy lately that I feel like until I feel better, I'm gonna have insurance. Until the market gives me the sentiment has changed a bit, I'm gonna use insurance. But that is a reversal diamond. I've seen a lot. I've seen this many, many times. You're below the level. Okay. So we've done a lot of analysis today. And look, that's a giant double bottom, isn't it? Thursdays also is a sketchy day to day trade. It's usually not the best. One other thing I want to show you that's very interesting is this is it. I just want to tell you one last thing. And this is going to be amazing. I've never done this. No one's ever done it for me. I'm a long-term investor in BTC. Facts. I have successfully bought lower areas of Bitcoin than most people in the world many times publicly. Facts. Okay? These are just facts. All right? No, and how I've done it is a very simple process. Facts. So 3 facts that have all just been made. I'm a long-term investor in Bitcoin. I have publicly bought in the very lowest prices here, right? When we've been extremely low, I've publicly bought the lowest prices in bulk too. Okay? Does that mean I'm always right? No. Does that mean every time I do it, I'm going to be perfect? No. But what I will tell you is I have a system in place that has not failed me yet. And this is starting, look, this chart starts back in like 2014. So every single time Bitcoin got below the dotted line on the 2-week chart, right there somewhere in March of 2011, good price. Right here too, December of 2014, great prices. August of 2016, when I really started buying Bitcoin, great prices. That was the first low of that bear market. Here's the pandemic low. Here's the retrace. And I called this bounce back from 34th, and I got a half a Bitcoin here and watched Bitcoin soar from 31 all the way back to 69 in front of the world. I called this bottom. Was on multiple channels. People still say, yes, I remember it. I got in. Then I bought a 19K Bitcoin. I called this bottom too with the double bottom there. I said, this is going to be your last chance to buy BTC. And then the 5-day crossed the 200 moving average. And I told everyone that will probably be your last chance. Nobody believed. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just. And 2 weeks. So the point, and I'm not bragging. It sounds like I'm bragging, but listen, you can, even if I am bragging, there's value in it. So listen, and don't get into me, get into you. Stop worrying about me and start thinking about you. So what I did is I was buying BTC in bulk every time the fear and greed index was in this level. 20 down to 9 in the shaded region, preferably down into the teens if it could get there. So whenever the fear was in this shaded region, it would line up with being below the stochastics RSI on the 2-week chart. And I would buy in bulk. So this has never failed me since I started doing it in about 2017. So it's been 8 years of doing this. And again, maybe this will be the first time it takes a little longer. Like maybe we do dip and we test 71,000. But you can see there's a lot of support there. And there's a lot of support here. It's going to take a lot if we really get back to 45K. It's going to take a lot. Look how hard it is for the bears just to get below here. This is a very small chunk of liquidity. This is way bigger. You know? It's not like you just rip right through that. So anyway, the whole point is long-term investing in Bitcoin is what gave me basically everything. And this is how I did it with two simple indicators. And I teach people this all the time, and I show people this stuff, and I don't think they believe it or realize how simple it can be to change your life. Like this is free, alternative.me. This is all free. I'm not selling you anything. I'm showing you free stuff online that helped me change my life. This is why I like YouTube. I used to watch people on YouTube. They used to teach me how to go to one of my favorite exercises that I still do to this day is a free exercise on YouTube that I type in level 6 exercise. It's free. I didn't pay for it. No one ever, you know what I mean? And I look great because of it. Like, it puts me in shape. I like it. I could look better. I'm just saying I like what it does for my heart, for my muscles. Same thing here with Jim Rohn every morning. It's a Jim Rohn motivational YouTube channel. It's free. But it's the one thing that has freed my mind. It's made me millions of dollars because it's freed my mind to believe I could be anything I wanted to become. And you'd be like, well, why can't you do that on your own? Yes, but the world is constantly sending us signals. So we should create our own developed discipline of signals that we've created. And so by listening to Jim Rohn every single day, constantly, I've developed a very strong, disciplined mind that goes to the positive, reminds myself to stay disciplined, reminds myself I have to build, reminds myself I have to keep pushing, reminds myself to never stop. You know? Reminds myself that yesterday's win wasn't today's money. I gotta keep pushing. Reminds myself that anything is possible. Reminds myself that I have to win every day to keep winning. You know what I mean? Or at least begin, put in the right place, put myself in the right place to win every single day. Nothing's gonna come for free. I can't earn anybody's trust without showing up every single day. You see what I mean? Consistency is the only way you earn true friends, man. And people honor you and love you. Like, love is, I want you all to love me, but I want to be able to give you value every day and create something that you can take home for the rest of your life. Right? So again, I'm giving you this value here, and I believe 10 years from now, Bitcoin will be 10x from here. That's 1x a year. And then you're also going to be in money that less people have. And then it could actually get even more and more. Who knows what will happen in 20 years? And again, you'll do your own research and have to have your own beliefs, but I firmly believe Bitcoin will be the most sound money in the world. And as it's shown already, it was less than $1, folks. It's $88,000. It hit 100K like everyone said it would years and years ago. We knew 100K wasn't going to be something, you knew if an area is substantial in trading, you're going to hit it, lose it, come down. And then once you finally really gain it forever, it's over. Like we had trouble at 20,000. A lot of time. 20,000 was a biatch. It took us a long time, right? You know what I mean? Excuse my language. But it was, Wasn't easy, but now the odds of us probably ever going below 20K are very low. Could it happen? Maybe. But I truly believe that's in the past. Okay. So what am I doing today? What's happening? I'm in a head short, and I'm only going to trade long if I see my signals on my model. All right. So like very simple, very controlled plan. I'm in a silver long. I'm in a Bitcoin short. Together right now, they're up $800. We'll see where this goes. That's not really the plan yet. I'm just showing you kind of how things are starting out. And yes, I did trade this flag and got stopped out today for 300 bones. On weeks, it stinks. I had to do it. It looked like, they made it sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 hours. But I guess you just got to believe they're going to stop hunt everything now. And that's just the way the market's going to go all the time. And you're better off believing that, right? So this could be a descending triangle or really another symmetrical that goes lower. And it comes down to test 87,340. So I see more downside unless the 1 minute says different. It even kind of had an inverted head and shoulder. It had a cup and handle. That's been negated. So to me, this is it. I mean, you're in a, yeah. 1 minute will take about an hour to really play out. I mean, that could take 40 minutes. Hit shift and go sideways. Look, 27 minutes. So, you know, in a half an hour, this is going to have to break up or down. And I use the 1 minute to tell my, you know, so that, you know, if you use another time frame, it might take you a few hours to figure out what's happening. But the smaller time frame will give you the quickest updates for your fancy. So if you don't want, you know, you're not waiting for anyone else. You want to wait to see what this does. This is most likely going to break to the downside. It even has kind of a downward sloping move. So I'm still, and so there you go. I mean, there's not much more I could say for BTC today. All right. Let's take a look at the rest of the markets and see what's happening out here on CoinMarketCap. MyX Finance continuing to hold that $6 level. Interesting that it is a service, down 7% today, but it is a service. Okay. So it has some use case. It could, you know, 15 lighter at 180. But after that massive debacle, right, the airdrop and the massive dumpage, I don't know, man. Just, but again, it is what it is. Render holds $2 pretty nicely. Render's been stronger than most coins, still down 10% on the week, but it had a nice bump. Aster about 50 cents. It has utility hanging out. Aerodrone 47. Virtuals back down 18. So like, I kept telling people I would be running into BTC into altcoins right now. They're very high risk right now. Very high risk. And I hate to say that. But the facts are the facts. Okay. And if Bitcoin decides to tumble more, you know, and again, I got to be honest with everybody. We are at this precipice where a massive dump can happen, a massive bump can happen. And we're in the middle of geopolitical stresses. I'm telling you right now, Greenland has a lot to do with what's happening. And I'll tell you why. Bitcoin is a world asset. You've got Europe, you've got everybody around, you know, Bitcoin. It's not just America. And every time, you know, there's that weird, you know, when we hear Denmark's happy, when we hear the EU's okay, when we hear the deal's about to go through and we're about to grab Greenland, everything gets it can get poisoned. People are going to be back to throwing money into Bitcoin. It's going to be fine. But every time it gets stressed, every time people think there's going to be war, invasion, or, you know what I mean? Or we hear, even if the news just starts playing with people's minds and creating sentiment that's not true, people are going to rush out of Bitcoin and rush back into gold and silver. And right now, you have people on the middle right now. Every day they're back in, oh, Bitcoin's going to go down, silver's going to go up, bigger. And you can see it. We're on this line. We're on a line. And so anything could happen. Anything could happen. Okay? So you got to just kind of keep that in mind, that we're on this geopolitical tightrope right now. And no matter what you want to say, that's what's happening. No matter what we want to kind of talk about, that's what's going on. Okay. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I just had to jump out and say something to my wife. She's so beautiful and special. She's actually really sweet. Whenever I look at her, she calms me down. I hope you have a woman like that calms you down, treats you right, and gets you in a good mood every time you look at her. Because if you don't, you got to marry one that does, baby. Shout out to everybody here, man. So yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's going to roll over, but you never know. Every day I'm on the precipice of what if, and I just trade thank God I have a system, and I just trade what I see. You know, I had to come to terms a long time. They're like, I just trade what I see. Look, they faked it up. And then they, you know what I mean? They love this stuff, man. Oh, we're going to break out. And then people buy the breakout. I was already in since here. I've been in like this, waiting. It's a shoulder, you know, it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. So we identified an interesting idea here, right? Which was this diamond on the 1 hour time frame, but it's not amazing. And anyway, I've given you guys everything I could. To go back in time is hard. That's why this channel is good to kind of stick with us throughout the day. But yeah, this looks like it's rolling over, baby. I see more downside for Bitcoin at the present moment in time. That 4 hours below the 200 moving average, so is the daily. Everything that I do when I'm bullish is there. And so, yeah. And let's take a look at the 3 days. The 3 day losing the 200 moving average. This is my last hopium, copium, smokium, whatever you want to call it. But no, you close the 3 day candle below the 200. I'm a bear again, everybody. I'm a nasty old bear now. I'm a nasty bear. You could say there's still a trend line on the 3 day. Interesting, right? Let me get... Still a trend line on the 3 day. But you know, that looks like you're going to get roofed. You got bearish div and that's coming down. You know, I see something. Let me show you something that I didn't talk about before yet either. I just saw something in my mind. Something in my mind. Let's take a look here on the Mexi. So, what am I seeing here? You know, it might be doing one of these over here. Just, you know what I mean? And it might be dipping down to 78,000 again, just kind of taking out the low here. And then you'll get another inverted head and shoulder on the deep end. This will be the true cup and handle. It's just going to take a lot longer. We don't start ripping until April. This makes sense with my whole idea. And it makes sense why. I'm going to tell you why. This is actually lining up beautifully. Let me explain some things that are really coming into play here. I love how the show comes together in this way because it's like I get led the breadcrumbs, the charts, the moon, you know, it all comes together. So listen, 6 days to the next FOMC meeting, which is a bearish sign because they're pushing, they're not going to cut the rate. Jerome Powell is going to be real corny. It's his last meeting. He's under investigation. He's going to be the corniest bull. He's going to be the corniest dude you've ever seen in your life. It's a fact, man. Facts. He's going to be uptight. He's going to act like he's going to troll Trump during the entire thing. It's just going to be whack. They're going to go after him hard. The reporter's going to ask him questions they never had the guts to ask him before. It's going to be one of the funniest press conferences you've ever seen because they're going to be a little, the more right-leaning publications, I truly believe are going to they're going to be a little jarring. 100%. We all know this. This is what's going to happen. I can see it. It's going to be the funniest Fed day we've ever had, so get ready. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be interesting. I would get ready. I'd be excited for it in a way because it's going to be the most entertaining Fed day we've ever been a part of. 100%. Without a doubt in my mind. All right? It is. Exciting times to be alive. So anyway, let's kind of finish this. So look, I'm always in front of it. 95% chance they do not cut the rate, right? And our next meeting's not to when? Till March. So they're going to, and it's late March. So he has precedent for 2 months. It's one of the biggest. He has precedent for 2 months. And they're already leaning they're going to cut 13. There's already a better chance they're going to cut the rate. And once the new guy's going to come into office, things are going to swing. You see what I mean? This would start coming up. And I believe we're going to get the rate cut in March. That's going to take, again, people will front run it a little bit, but the liquidity really has to start running heavily. And then we're going to get a second rate cut April 29th. By that time, people are going to be front running. And it makes sense. Look, this lines up perfectly with a massive dip here down back to 73, 74. A chance for institutions and everyone to get back in again. Everyone can call this a massive double bottom. All right. It'll have a measured move, the length of the middle point. It'll give retail the chance to get back into Bitcoin because everyone's telling them, wait it out. You'll get a chance. They felt smart, then they felt stupid, then they felt smart again. If it comes back to 75, they'll all feel smart. We waited. It's really going to open the doors. Institutions might front run 75. We might only get, or what is it, 69? We might only get to 71, 70. You're looking at this key resistance area here at about 72,000 where these candles start to hit. Okay. So this is a possible bigger probability too on the plate. Starts kind of making sense. And look, the rate cut comes when? April 1st, April 2nd. We start breaking out April 28th, right? Wow. April 26th is the second rate cut. And then don't you think the money starts flowing in May? And it's always sell in May and go away, but this cycle will be different. Things will change. Does this mean that the stock market is also going to crash? there's a lot of AI semiconductor going on. People are losing their jobs and they're being forced to trade. A lot of people that were people are running into trading now more than ever. AI is taking away their jobs, but it's also helping them trade. They're getting into trading. So there's more traders than I've ever seen in my life. There's more people online talking about trading than I've ever seen. I've been on it in a while. It's becoming a bigger, broader group of people. And I mean, out of necessity, it's a way to make money from home. If you are getting replaced by AI. Bus drivers will be replaced by AI in 10 years. Facts. Cab drivers will be replaced by AI in less than 10 years. Facts. How many millions of people are doing that right now? Restaurants will have self-ordering and they'll be able to reduce staff members slightly. Facts. There'll be automated dishwashers that do it better, There'll be ways to facts. Okay? In the next 5 to 7 years, massive amounts of labor jobs will be taken out. Certain jobs in the law firms will be unneeded because AI can go through way more law stuff than any other human being. Certain positions in the doc, someone that doesn't have true wisdom with herbs and really understands science, not science, but the deep understanding of nature and like homeopathic doctors, I think they'll be in demand. But the average doctor that just regurgitates things out of a book and Rockefeller medical books and stuff, irrelevant. You know what I mean? Because AI can recall way more cases, help person understand and possibly diagnose faster, more efficiently, and in a quicker, number one, quicker, more efficiently, save time and money, right? Less visits to the doctor, less driving. So get ready, man. We're changing. Times are changing. What will not be replaced by AI? Power washing, someone's concrete driveway. You may be able to get an automated machine. You may be able to use AI to do advertising, but you got to show up. You got to make connections. You got to run a business. Cleaning somebody's gutters, right? Making amazing food and having them come back to your restaurant. These things cannot be replaced by AI. Watching someone do backflips on a horse. To me, amazing. Like, you can't really do that with AI, right? So real skill will still be, real skill will go up in value. Anything you can do that can't be replaced by a machine, and if you don't have any of those skills, you got to find some. So it's interesting. We're going to revert backwards a little bit and forwards a little bit. And, you want to start seeing this and start building a picture of where we're going. And again, no one has a perfect picture of where we're going, but it's good to kind of have a somewhat of a basis point so you can build from that and not just be completely blind. All right. Important, right? So what's happening right now? Well, let's take a look at the smaller time frame for Bitcoin. So again, what have I come to terms with? Well, anything is possible in this land of BTC, right? Here's the last weird thing that I'm going to talk. This idea that we're inside of this like estranged falling wedge. And like, we're just back inside. Like, we broke out of it. We're back inside of it again. And we could end up breaking out to the upside, which is, I've seen this before. I actually started playing this game. I've never seen it this extreme. We could just be making a right shoulder too. That's why there's just so many, there's a lot of if, ands, and buts about price action. I see some of my telltales. When these get tight, you tend to pump up to the 200 moving average. We're hugging this thing. What really bugs me out is you went out here, you hung out, you hugged here. You got into the gap in the VRVP and you didn't clear the gap. That's very rare. This was an insane, this is just so rare. I don't know how someone did. I don't know how they pulled it off. I don't know what happened. I back tested this for years. It's just it's rare you don't go through the gap when you get like a quarter through, almost halfway through it. Like, you were closer to this node and you're usually going to, and then you get to this node. Fine, reject after that, but dang. So that was odd for me. When the VRVP opened up, we got through it and we actually busted through 94, and it was like, no, we're not going to let traditional TA go. You're going to close it to a daily candle above resistance, but that doesn't matter. We're going to crush you like a bug days later. Now they got everyone assuming we're definitely going to break down. And so they, now they probably bull trap us back up again. I mean, bear trap us back, So that's why I'm hedging all over the place. And that's why I get hedge shorts and I'm going to trade. I figure I got them right where I want them. They ain't got me because I got a plan. And their plan they don't know my plan and it doesn't make sense to them. They can only figure out what the general population will do, not what I'm going to do. So as long as I'm not doing what everyone else is doing, I think I'm going to be able to make it out alive. I asked if Sammy had any pants, and she said his pants are AI generated. I think welders were replaced, and I never thought that would be possible. Yeah, AI welding will be, I'm a structural engineer that works with an iron worker team. We won't be going away. Shout out to you, man. God bless the iron workers. My dad was an iron worker. Shout out to Crypto Flow Official. Amen. Yeah. Just give us that capitulation wick. I mean, in general, we're oversold on the daily now. So remember, what are we looking for today? You're looking for the 8-hour to close at tweezer bottom right there, a higher one too. That could be the indication along. You long this higher tweezer bottom with a stop below this wick. And I don't think there's anything you get stopped out doing that. I mean, to me, that's a valiant effort to do the right thing. It's not chasing. It's not emotional. Just doing what you're supposed to do. I can still see how there's some hopium copium here. And what doesn't make sense to me is the monthly has hidden bullish divergence. That is 90% accurate. You're supposed to break these highs before you break these lows. So I'm confused because it doesn't make sense to me. But I've never challenged it on the monthly time frame. This will be the first time in my life I've seen this on the monthly in my whole life. So, out of years of trading, because I never seen an asset get this crazy on the bigger time frame, right? I also showed you that this looks like a diamond. And diamonds break back to the upside. Like, that's a diamond, man. 90, 68, 70% of the time, rounded up. This is coming back up. You're going to be at 95,000 in, let's see, hit shift. And 1 day in 10 hours. So, I got gray pants on today. Okay? Gray pants on. All right? Send him in. He's got pants on, folks. Yeah, I mean, of course, gray pants to match the gray tie and the gray pocket square. Like, of course. Like, what do I look like to you over here? Hey. Vegas Claw is the type of dude to be thinking of Sammy's pants jokes for the live stream with on lunch break eating a peanut butter jellies. I forget, Rocket Man and Vegas Claw always go at it. It's so funny, man. I love it. I love you too. Oh, you two, just stop it, all right. But shout out to you guys. God bless you all. Thank you for jumping on in. We appreciate you. We love you. And we thank everyone that shows up to the channel tirelessly supporting the Crypto Lifer Show. Stop hunt, higher low, dualities here. It's a diamond to me, reversal diamond to the upside, right? They'll be able to replace some basic assembly line welding stuff, but that won't be able to replace actual fabricators, welding repairs. Yep. Trading will become obsolete as it will be replaced by AI. Your job could become obsolete. AI could be doing TA more efficiently. What AI could not do. Yeah, but people don't want to watch AI. They want to have fun and be entertained by a human being. Yeah, exactly. And I've seen so much. I've actually seen so much. You don't only need. Here's the different thing. Here's one thing that doesn't make sense. That doesn't matter. In a 20-year period, you're going to see every possible thing. There's going to be a few, but mainly everything's going to be replicatable. So AI, even if it has 55, 60 years more of data in trading, I don't think it matters. And AI doesn't know what human emotions are. It doesn't know how to teach what to do when you're in that position. It doesn't have emotions. And humans do. So humans need to be taught from a mentor that knows how to hold what a human holds. I know how to hold the same emotions you do. I can guide you through those. So a human guide in trading will always be valuable over an AI guide, because the AI guide can only teach you TA, but trading is not just TA. It's how to hold your emotions. And and I know that because I have emotions. So you can ask TA all you want, and people can feed it, and it can scan what people have said. But you want to someone look in the eye, someone to actually be there, and someone to understand what you're going through. That's not, you can't be replaced by TA, by AI. It just isn't, you know. Exactly. I thought about saying it, but I gotta go. Yeah. Shez Mupta, God bless you, man. Hardwood floors are here to stay. My job is safe from a solid 100%. He's 100%. AI cannot lay hardwood floors, man. You know, some guy's redoing my bathroom right now. He had to talk to us. He had to order the parts. They had to do inventory. They had to make sure it works. There's maybe some parts of AI that can be implemented there, but it can't do that whole job. And again, I have to look him in the eye. He has to tell me that he's going to be here tomorrow at this time. He has to have 3 different people, electricians, plumbers, like that. It's just, you know what I mean? He could use a scheduling software or something like that. And each of those people could use AI to help find their tools, you know what I mean? But it's not, there's going to be this big thing where everyone thinks it's going to be everything, and it's going to be not everything. It's going to be some things, though, but not everything. You know? Exactly. House painting might be hard to replace, 100%. Getting into that nook and crannies, understanding how to look at the customer. I don't want AI in my house. I want someone that I know and trust in my house. I'm a homeowner, so like, you know what I mean? Right off the bat, like, it's just like, I want to look you in the face and know who you are. If you tell me, oh, we use AI to schedule, and I get, oh, wow, this guy's smart. He's using, you know. But I want a human that's using AI. I don't want AI only, right? We're making a huge cup at handy, Sammy. ChatGPT is the devil, yeah. Thanks for another great stream. Appreciate your willingness to share your knowledge with us. Keep up the great work, sir. Well, today, what were the main takeaways for today? Main takeaways for today, right, are the 8-hour candle could close with a higher tweezer bottom, which is amazing. The second thing that could happen, okay, on the takeaway side, is that this is a diamond, and diamonds break back to the upside 68% of the time. Okay, so this could break back up here, and it would just come up to this level of liquidity. Okay, and the third thing that we went over is, I know there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about that's stuck in my head that I forgot now. There's one other thing. Oh, I forgot. I paint houses for a living, and trust me, AI can't. You're funny. I paint houses. You know what you're saying, right? We're headed towards it. Do you know what you just? Hey! Don't talk to that guy. Hey, don't paint my house, please. It'll take over the high-paying, lazy jobs, 100%. They predicted Rosie from the Jetsons. I know, right? That's funny. I'll tell you what, man. This diamond is likely to catch a lot of people off, and they had a beautiful flag, so that meant they wanted to pump price, but they had to stop hunt everybody first. It's interesting. Open law risk for the biscuit. Yeah. Hey, Sammy, love your Lamborghini. Can you look at the hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin, the monthly lower high price action? Yes, I've been talking about hidden bullish divergence every single day on the monthly for a long time now on this channel. We went over it like probably 2 or 3 times today. The only real question is, will humanity go the light or dark route of AI implementation? Eventually, it's all over, he says. I hope not. That's a horrible way to think. All right, if we're going to be bullish today, what's going to happen? What are you looking for? You're looking for the 1 hour to get back above the 200. I mean, the 1 minute to get back above the 200 moving average. That's going to be the key to success today. And look, we've been watching this flag get tighter and tighter. And it's only a matter of time right now, whatever happens to BTC. Looks like there might be a nice spike back to the upside. If the 1 minute can get back above the 200, then you're looking for the 5 minute to do the same. If the 5 minute can, then we're back inside the exact same flag we were in at the beginning of the day. And I would just probably long this exact same thing again. Because I'm just relentlessly stubborn, and I'm going to do the same thing I do every single time. That's also going to be looking somewhat like a complex inverted head and shoulder if we get out of here. So, hey, I'm not overly bearish. There's actually a chance we reverse today on this insane Thursday. And it looks like we're holding levels here again at 88,009 for Bitcoin. So, looks interesting. Look, it looks like a slanted inverted head and shoulder. wants to break back to the upside. 8-hour closes the tweezer bottom. 4-hour breaks out of the diamond. That's a diamond, man, if I've ever seen one. Like, so I see some reversal here the longer I hang out with the chart and look at it. Starts to speak to me a bit. 4-hour just closed. The 1 hour just closed the tweezer bottom. I like those. You know, I long right here, stop below these wicks, and just kind of sit tight. I did it yesterday. It made me $1,400. And all you would just be longing this V back to the top of the channel. It is lower volume today, but I like this trade. So I'll leave you with this idea here. 1 hour just closed long. New candle just opened up. It's 3 minutes into green. You know, stop below one of two of these wicks, and there's a chance here we get a move back to the top of liquidity at about 98,350. That could happen. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Okay. And you got the first thing that has to happen, though, is this 1 minute has to break back above the 200 moving average. Or we might have a problem. So I got the head short open no matter what. You're looking for this to kind of get tight. If this starts to happen, there's a chance we're breaking out. Look for this. It's going to take about 8 or 9 hours, in my humble opinion. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. That is the day in a nutshell. More was just revealed to me right now. That's why I keep pushing every day and keep looking at the charts. Wait for my subconscious mind to build an idea, a story, something that makes sense, and we go from there. I'll be in the charts throughout the day. I love you. I'll be in the Discord. Tonight is our weekly screen share. We'll be there around 8:15, and I'll be talking about kind of the plans for the week, what we see happening, and, Fed Day next week, too. We have a lot coming at us, so get ready. Stay amazing. Stay based. I'll see you tonight in the screen share. I'll see you in the trading group, and I'll see everyone tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. Thank you so much. Remember, the secret to success, you know what it is, right? It's getting started. You got to start somewhere to get where you're going to go. Every single great person started something in their life, and now they're doing it. So I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow.